Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Let's Explore Halitol. So last episode, first part of this, we checked out all that shiznit over there and looked at kind of like the less impoverished parts of town. But now we're going to go to the poor areas and make fun of people who don't have much money. Ha ha. First of all, let's cross this glorious dam bridge here. We're gonna go check out this bank. I don't really know much about this bank besides I was on the server one day and the next day it was just kind of here and I'm like, where'd that come from? So there's the backstory behind that. But anyways, the poor part of town, which is actually the much more interesting part of town, in all honesty. And there are actually like a lot more towers, those hideous sort of Minecraft towers you see. I really like them for some reason, but there are a lot more of these in the version, I've lost the ability to comprehend human speech. The server, this is an old save file. The new save files, there were a lot more of these towers. This is all very much more occupied. There's some really interesting stuff up here. So that's the tunnel that leads up to just blah, 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 all that stuff up there by the spawn. Who cares? I think this house was not completed. I don't know if I like birch wood. Lots of people seem to use birch a lot and like, ooh, look how pretty that wood is. Let's look around. I think this is mostly just an empty building, empty tower. Which is part of the reason I don't know. Sometimes people like really flesh these out and you can find really interesting stuff in these sort of Minecrafty towers. Does not seem to be the case with this building. So clearly whoever built this was just boring, Let's make assumptions and be vindictive here. The meaning of life. I'm not sure that I really have the motivation to fly all the way. Why am I flying? I just walk all the way up here. Yeah, my mind's just gonna wander. I'm giving up on this whole like coherent speech thing. Like I'm just gonna talk to myself now. I've been struggling with the putting words illogically into sentence thing my entire life, and I think just now I've decided to give it up and just babble. Dilbert had there's an old Dilbert strip that was just about babbling. It's like, oh yeah, how to solve babbling, you take off their watch and beat it with a hammer. It doesn't stop the babbling, but it does make you feel better about yourself, People are like, oh, turn the other cheek. Well, there's all sorts of, socioeconomic factors to turning the other cheek that modern people just don't really factor into their whole turn the other cheek discussions. We're not going to go into that. Instead, we're wandering around in a basement. I've been devoting all of my mental energies to not thinking, so I have no idea where we are. I've gotten myself lost, but I like this fireplace. I like sandstone. It's one of my favorite building materials. And I like open doors. And I've been thinking about nothing, doing nothing but thinking. Combination fridge safe. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. There's this. Oh. So that's where the safe part comes from, I guess. That's kind of clever, actually. So let's wander around in this person's basement. And, they have watermelon. I don't understand this placement. This is a very homey, but very illogical farm. Well, I mean, we're talking about like an underground stone room with eternal power sources in it, so I guess logic is just kind of get thrown out the window, isn't it? Let's keep going down. There's actually a whole interesting area that was somewhere in that general direction, but for some reason I walked in the other direction. Let's not go into the nether. And it's a cage. I don't know if I can. Yeah, okay, so there's a Treasure plate. There. Get back through. You know, redstone door timings are kind of suboptimal in Minecraft, I think. Some sort of pit of eternal despair down here. I've had a feeling today that just this, I've been greatly perturbed by this overwhelming sense that there's something important to be done, and I'm not doing it. But I can't figure out what that important thing is. So I thought to myself for a while, I was like, is there anything that I need to be doing? And I was like, I don't really think so. So instead, I'll go play Minecraft and stop worrying. You know, like Mose Allison said, you know I don't worry about a thing, 'cause I know nothing's gonna be alright. That was one of my favorite songs. From the soundtrack to The Whole Nine Yards, which is a very good movie. Did I just walk down? How does one get in and out of this room? Whatever. That sign said hydroponics. Earthchild, got my hydroponic pie. Roots Manuva song. He's a British rapper, so this is where I wanted to explore earlier. This, okay, so we already came down this ladder. Let's go this way. I think we had some sort of like underground sewer system. Lupus, diamond, gold, iron. Yeah, some sort of like sewer balloons tower defense system thing going on at the town, where we could like move around under the city if we ever had a PvP war here. This may or may not have been part of that, or it may have been something where like the town honchos went and actually did productive stuff, and then all the people who lived in the town were like vultures, decided to build off it. If they did build off it, they seem to have done a not terrible job, because this is kind of interesting to explore. There's so many twists and turns. This isn't interesting. You've just set off my trap card. How hilarious. What's this way? I like this. Cheap picks for nether racks. Cheap picks. You know, I thought those were really dark. It's just black wool. That's kind of cool. She said, that's pretty cool. But classy girls don't kiss in bars, you fool. Again, like I said earlier, I've completely given up on this whole idea of coherent thought. Sometimes I just give up on the idea of thought in general, coherency or not. Do thought and not rhyme? I really don't like the flying mechanics and how they interact with the ladders. So I think we've ended up in a completely different part of the impoverished part of town. Farms/hell. Nope. Okay, it's the same building basically. Nope, it's a different house attached to the tall tower we were in earlier. What's in here? Evacuation route. With an arrow pointing down. We're all going to a bomb shelter in the basement. This is exactly where we were just at. So this must be some sort of public works project to make evacuation shelters. That's nice. Let's keep looking around here. Junglewood. I don't like junglewood texture for some reason. It just doesn't work. Utrera 10207. Utrera. That's a really difficult name to pronounce. They probably should have considered that. Utrera. They have a fireplace. You know, the thing is, I know these brick fireplaces look really good on my texture pack. I also know they look like dog crap without it. So I don't understand why so many people build them. It's like, oh, that's... Huh. Oops. So apparently I have water equipped. Cages. Cage. Cage, get him, Cage. Let's just ruin this room for some reason. I don't know why. It seemed like a thing to do. This must have been a farm at some point before all the wheat died. Ditto. Ditto is not the word. Down, 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 down. Don't bring me down. Bruce, don't bring me down. Bruce, don't bring me down. Down, 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 down. Ooh-wee-hoo. Sometimes I can sing well, but I actually have to like sing to do it. Which is not a thing. I haven't been singing in the shower enough lately. I have to, warm up my vocal cords. I used to serenade the neighborhood. It was a glorious sight to see. Seeing someone sing in the shower, probably not a great experience. It's a thing that scars children. I wonder about that, though. Are children really scarred, or do we just convince them that they're scarred? Because there's no natural modesty in mankind. Modesty comes from this whole concept that a bunch of nutjob religious people tend to have, that if you give up things in life, you'll be rewarded in the afterlife. Which I don't buy into at all. But really though, are children really scarred by seeing things, or they're just like, no, you're scarred because we're telling you you're scarred. This is not. Oh, I was gonna say this is not a very good exit. What are you talking about? But it was an exit. I was just being stupid. So I think that's one of the public things that we just kind of forced the people living out here to kind of accept as part of their houses. Eminent domain, incinerator. I remember I played the Sim City for Nintendo DS. They had garbage incinerators in that, which is kind of funny. I don't know why, but it was. Take my word for it. Man, my throat needs all of the clearing. Maybe I should go to JCPenney's. They seem to have lots of experience with that whole clearance sort of thing. Well, they changed their thing. They're like, oh, we're not going to have sales anymore. We're just going to have low prices. And then everyone's like, we don't want to shop here anymore. You suck. And they were like, well, everyone's like, oh, JCPenney's doesn't really have sales. They just have low prices and call it a sale to bring in business. And everyone criticized them for it. And then once they actually stopped doing that and were more honest about it, everyone was like, screw you, JCPenney's. Don't call us out. We just want to complain, So I don't know. That is a completely pointless room. Lame. Let's go up and out. So I know somewhere around here, it was this house. So I was looking at the wrong house. I was thinking this one was interesting. It's not. It's boring. This is the interesting house. We're going to check this out. Toss in a donation. Make a wish. Yeah, the wishing well was actually kind of interesting, if I recall. Because it goes down here. And the items fall through, even if we people can't. And that was wood, not gravel. Leva gravel. This actually sounds kind of cool. Leva gravel. That's one thing I don't like about the water mechanics is the underwater waterfalls. Which sounds like it could be a really lame theme park ride, kind of, doesn't it? Underwater waterfalls. It's like you almost get the buffalo thing going there. You just start linking the word water over and over in a sentence as much as you possibly can and be like, it makes sense. Buffalo. Which, it's like diamond. Sweet. I don't know where this goes. Let's find out. I see water. Oh, that's right. So at one point it probably actually led somewhere, but now since we just kind of copy and pasted this from the multiplayer world, it's just like a cutoff. So it's kind of interesting to look at this town from this perspective, isn't it? There used to be people here. Now it's a ghost town. 5,000 people used to live here. I don't do a very good Captain Price impression, I guess. Yeah, it looks very different from this angle for some reason. I kind of like it. I also like the shooting stars in the background that shoot up in that direction across the sky. It's kind of funny. It looks like somebody used to have a cheap cobblestone fort out here. Let's check it out. Cheap and cobblestone pretty much describes it. Alright, that was unexciting. Okay, so there's one other thing here. So I think we've pretty much looked at most of the town by now. If not, then, well, you know, sue me. There's also some other stuff around here that we'll try and check out. This, okay, you know what's funny is this lake and stream were never actually finished. That's actually something. When I got this save file, I was like, we seriously never finished that creek? So I did it myself when I got the save file. Yeah, there are these roads here because, you know, someone on the server was like, we should have roads connecting all the major builds and all the cities and stuff. And so they built cobblestone roads that looked like crap, and, you know, if it doesn't look good, it's kind of against the point. I think this is a fortress because somebody was planning on, you know, quote-unquote invading the town, so they made a big stone block on the side of the mountain that is totally not conspicuous at all, right? So, yeah, but this way, past this Maginot line here, out this way, there's a really nice house that one of the town architect built. It was like his personal residence. So we're going to go check that out real quick, and I think that's mostly going to cover the town. I think we checked most of it out. It was much more exciting when it was, you know, bigger. You know, bigger things actually tend to be more exciting in some ways. Bigger, always better, obviously. I think this is kind of a nice design, though. I'm kind of torn. In some ways it's, if you know what I mean. I think this is also unfinished in the basement anyway. Because like out here, it looks, see, the thing I like about it is it looks cool. You know, from a purely artistic standpoint, that's a pretty nice kind of building. It's like a sculptural kind of thing. The thing I don't like about it is completely functionless. Like most of this, I don't know, maybe they were planning on furnishing it, but it just seems like it serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. I mean, it's very nice. I like the way that the fountain and the stairs and everything work, but it's also pointless. You know, nice and pointless. They kind of balance each other out. It looks like they're probably expanding down more. But this is interesting. I didn't even know about this. Let's check it out. Mushrooms. So I guess this is like a mushroom cage. And some redstone workings. Huh, I had no idea this was here. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so there's got to be some sort of function here I'm missing. Yeah, what does that do? What does it mean? It's a sign, suffers. Oh, so it's just a trap in the hole in the wall. Okay, so that was anticlimactic. Well, I guess that's why you don't have water equipped in your inventory. Anyways, I think that pretty much that's pretty much the video. Yeah, so that was Halitol, the great and mighty city to, you know, end nothing really, because, you know, it's impressive, but it's not that impressive. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and you know, I'll be putting up more like it, so stay tuned.